udichyam prasamikshya renum tamah kim etat kuta etadраjo bhut iti dvijapatnischa dadyuhu अतर्त्विजो यजमानसद्यसा ककूबि उदीच्यां प्रशमक्षरेणुं तमः किं एतात् कुत एतादृजोऽभूत् इति द्विजपत्न्यश्च दद्युः अतर्त्विजो यजमानसद्यसा ककूबि उदीच्यां प्रसमीक्षरेणुं तमः किम् एतात् कुत एतद्रजोऽभूत् इति द्विजपत्न्यश्च दद्युः. Synonyms. Atha, at the time, Rit- Ritvijaha, the priests, Yajamanaha, the chief person performing the sacrifice, Daksha, Sadasyaha, all the persons assembled in the sacrificial arena, Kakubi Udichyam, in the northern direction, Pratham, Prasamiksha, seeing, Renum, the dust storm, Tamaha, darkness, Kim, what, Etat, this, Kutaha, from where, Etat, this, Rajaha, dust, Abhut, has come, Iti, thus, Dvijaha, the Brahmanas, Dvijapatnyaha, the wives of the Brahmanas, Cha, and Tadyuhu began to speculate. Translation. At the time, all the persons assembled in the sacrificial arena, the priests, the chief of the sacrificial performance, and the Brahmanas and their wives, wondered where the darkness was coming from. Later, they could understand that it was a dust storm, and all of them were full of anxiety. Today's last verse, verse number 8. वातानावान्तीना शन्तिदस्सव्या प्राचीनबर्हिर्जीवति होग्रदण्डः गावो न कल्यन्त इदं कुतो रजो लोकाधुना किं प्रलयाय कल्पते वातानवान्तीन हि शन्तिदस्सव्या प्राचीनबर्हिर्जीवति होग्रदण्डः गावो न कल्यन्त इदं कुतो रजो लोको लोकोऽधुना किं प्रलयाय कल्पते वातानवान्ति न हि शन्ति दर्शव्या प्राचीनबर्हिर्जीवति होग्रदण्डः गावो न खाल्यन्त इदं कुतो रजो लोको लोकोऽधुनो किं प्रलयाय कल्पते. Synonyms. Vataha, the winds, Navanthi, are not blowing, Na, not, he, because, Shanti, are possible, Disavya, plunderers, Prachina Barihi, old King Barihi, Jivati is living, Ha, still, Ugradandaha, who would sternly punish, Gavaha, the cows, Na Kalyanthi, are not being driven, Idam, this, Kutaha, from where, Rajaha, dust, Lokaha, the planet, Adhuna, now, Kim, is it, Pralayaya, for resolution, Kalpate, to be considered, ready. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Conjecturing on the origin of the storm, they said, there is no wind blowing and no cows are passing, nor is it possible that this dust storm could be raised by plunderers, for there is still the strong King Barhi who would punish them. Where is this dust storm blowing from? Is the dissolution of the planet now to occur? Purport. Specifically significant in this verse is Prachina Barhi Jivati. The king of that part of the land was known as Barhi, and although he was old, he was still living, and he was a very strong ruler. Thus, there was no possibility of an invasion by the thieves and plunderers. Indirectly, it is stated here that thieves, plunderers, rogues, and unwanted population can exist only in the state or kingdom where there is no strong ruler. When, in the name of the justice, thieves are allowed liberty, the state and kingdom are disturbed by such plunderers and unwanted population. The dust storm created by the soldiers and assistants of Lord Shiva resembled the situation at the time of dissolution of this world. When there is a need for the dissolution of the material creation, this function is conducted by Lord Shiva. Therefore, the situation now created by him resemble the dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चाक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललितः श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्तराधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, verse number 5. आज्ञाप्त एवं कुपितेन मन्युना सदेव देवं परिचक्रमे विभुं मेने तदात्मानम् असङ्गरमसा महीयासं तथा सह सहिष्णुम्. So Narada Muni brought that sad news, the devastating news of Sati immolating herself in the Daksha Prajapati's sacrificial arena, and Shiva, being the husband of Mother Sati, he got enraged with anger. So, in that anger, he was acting like a madman. He was very he was put but his emotions were full of anger. In that anger, he plucked a string of his hair. It's Lord Shiva's hair are locked, and they look um, wavy and curvy, and that beautiful hair. He just plucked it, and from that originated the Virabhadra. Virabhadra is the anger personification of Lord Shiva, right? So this Virabhadra acts as a Kshetrapala, or the guardian deity of many Lord Shiva's temples. If you have in South India, especially, if you go to Andhra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, mostly when you see Lord Shiva's temple, you have a guardian temple, or like we know that, right? In Vrindavan, we have um, Lord Krishna's temples everywhere. Krishna in Nandagaon, we have the place of Krishna, and to protect that temple, or for that place, Nandishwar Mahadev, Lord Shiva sits there to protect that place. Similarly, for Lord Shiva's temples itself, for example, if you take um, Kashi Vishwanath, or in Varanasi, we have the Kashi Vishwanath temple, but the Kshetrapala of that temple is Kala Bhairava, right? Similarly, the Kala Bhairava is another form of Lord Shiva, right? Anger personification again. But in this case, we have Virabhadra. Virabhadra is a Kshetrapala of many South Indian temples where we have Lord Shiva there. If you remember, the Prime Minister of India, Modi, he visited multiple places. He before the commencement of or before installing the Ram Lala's deities, right? Um, Prime Minister of India, Modi, he visited multiple places. He visited the path, yeah, every. Yeah, every dham or every place where throughout the path of Lord Ramachandra, right? Lord Ramachandra started from Ayodhya to different places. They went to Panchavati, and then they went to Ahobilam. Sorry, not Ahobilam. The place where he found Hanumanji. So like that, and then in that sequence of visiting to different places, he stopped at one place that which no one knew before. That place is Lepakshi. Lepakshi is a place where Mother Sita's foot is there. On that hill, there is it's a small hillock, and Mother Sita's foot is there. And that foot, there is a water which always comes out of that foot every day. It's always wet. We don't see a dry feet there. It's yeah. Basically, the story goes like this: that when Ravana was carrying Mother Sita, she was she was trying to get down and left a foot on that hillock, and that there is a water still coming there. So that foot, because Modi ji or the Prime Minister of India was going through this, so he wanted to visit that place also, and he visited there for one day. Um, in the temple, why we're talking about this is in the temple, the main deity is Virabhadra. Virabhadra, who is the guardian or the furious form of Lord Shiva. So that Virabhadra is why he became so famous because of the verse here, what we're talking today. So the verse is Agnathayevam Kupitena Manyuna Sadeva Devam Parichakrame Vibhum. When he was created, he was not acting independently. He was acting according to the wish of Lord Shiva, the creator. Sometimes, um, like when we see Brahmaji, creation of the Lord Brahmaji, right? The first thing he created were the four Kumaras. They didn't. I mean, it's not a negative way, but what this the reason for the creation of the four Kumaras was to procreation, to create more population, to expand the material world, but they didn't do it. So sometimes what happens, like the creator creates, but they go against the creator. But in this case, I mean, just to give a disclaimer, that's what they didn't do very bad things, the four Kumaras, but they were very they had chosen a different path. They had chosen the higher path than the creator. That's fine. Just to give an example here. But now, why Virabhadra is famous is because the creator Lord Shiva created him, and he was um, not working or acting independently in that situation. He was acting according to the wish of Lord Shiva, right? So, my dear Vidura, that black person was a personified anger of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was prepared to execute the orders of Lord Shiva. He was prepared. What shows that he was prepared? He was circumambulating the Lord Shiva, the Creator. So that's important. Thus, considering himself capable of coping with any power offered against him, he circumambulated Lord Shiva. This is the important thing, right? Mene tadatmanam asangaram hasa mahishyasam tata saha sahishnum. So he said that he can counteract any kind of opposition that may come, because we have seen right after Mother Sati's immolation, when Lord Shiva's attendants, like they started trying to oppose that act, then Bhrigu he created Ribus, the Ribuganas or the Ribus. Ribus are basically the separate demigods. They are prepared to fight, and when the Ribus were created, these attendants of Lord Shiva could not could not oppose them or could not counterattack them, and they ran away and they went back to Lord Shiva. So now here it shows that when Virabhadra was created, he had that confidence. He showed that he is capable of coping with any power offered against him. So that was required at this point, because there are Ribuganas. ribhus who can defend the sacrificial arena. Okay, that's why this point is mentioned here. Now, text number seven, sorry, text number six. Anviyamana saturudra parshadir vrisham nadhadbir Vanadat Subairavam Udhyamya Shulam Jagadantakantakam Sampradravad Goshana Bhushanangrihi. So how is he? How is he going? So this Virabhadra is how is he? How does he's explaining how the Virabhadra looks. So Virabhadra is dark in color, right? And he carried a great trident, Trishula. So he was Shulam. So he was carrying the trident in his hands, and he was the specialty is like Jagad Antakantakam. So Jagad Antaka and Antakam is a very good word. So Jagad Antaka, what is Jagad Antaka? What is the Antaka means the killer or the killer or the destroyer of Jagat, of this material world. What is the killer of this material world generally? So the killer of the material world is death. Basically, if we see all the living entities die. If we lose our life, then we see that everything is lost, nothing is left behind. So that is the death is considered is called as Jagadantaka. Basically, death is the end point for all the living entities, right? But so that is called as Jagadantaka. The killer of uh, the killer of this material world is him. So that's what he is looking like. So he is ready to kill the killer of the death is also basically it's saying that the death personified is also scared of these features of Virabhadra. He was so powerful, so muscular, and so terrifying to look at. So the death personified will also tremble in front of him. So that is what is explained here. So, and what is he wearing? This is so graphical, right? So nicely explained. I mean, it's very hard to understand if is it really possible to do something like this kind of descriptions in especially the language called Sanskrit. um, People say Sanskrit is a dead language, but if you see the whole graphical picture of Virabhadra is given here. So yeah, if you see all those some clips or movies, we see that demons are showed, and here the real I mean Virabhadra is not a demon, but here the real that a fear personified personality is being shown very nicely, explained here very nicely that his anklets, how are they? That is explained here. Goshana Bhushanangrihi. So his anklets are in such a way that it looks like they have mouths and they are roaring. That anklets are roaring. Think about that. How terrifying that personality can be. Right? A dark personality, muscular, has a trishula, and his anklets are roaring. When he steps forward, it just opens the mouth and roars. Ooh. Think about that. That's so graphical, right? That's the beauty of uh, Sanskrit language, and a lot of people don't know this. So when he was walking like that, what's happening? The other followers of Lord Shiva are following him. So many other soldiers of Lord Shiva followed the fierce personality in tumultuous uproar. So they are also making noise. So, Bhrisham Nadhadi Bihir. So they're also making noise. They're also um, they carry their instruments, they carry their tridents. It's a beautiful, if you imagine, it's a beautiful explanation. So how the noises are made, how the things are done here. So then we'll go to the next verse, verse 7. अतर्द्विजो अतर्द्विजो यजमान सद्यसा काकुभि उद्दिशं प्रशमीक्ष रेणुं तमः किं एतात् कुत एतादृशोऽभूत् इति द्विजपत्नीश्च दद्युः. Then they all in the sacrifice. So we're talking about sacrificial arena now. So the scene has moved to the sacrificial arena. In the sacrificial arena, whom do we have? We have the Brahmanas' wives, and the all the guests there, and the Yajamana, that's the performer of the sacrifice, which is um, Daksha Prajapati. So all of them are there. So what is happening there? They saw a dust storm and the dust storm and the darkness of the dust storm, and they were all trying to speculate what's happening now. The Dihu, they're trying to speculate. So what are they trying to speculate? At the time, all persons assembled in the sacrificial arena, the priests, the chief of the sacrificial performance, and the Brahmanas and their wives, wondered where the darkness was coming from. Where this darkness coming from, right? Later they could understand that it was a dust storm, and all of them were full of anxiety, right? It's such a it was supposed to be a sacrificial arena, a very pious place, but because of the loss of Mother Sati there, so all these things are happening, and everyone was speculating. So the one word I want to talk about here is Ritvija. Basically, Ritvija is the one uh, who performs the sacrifice. Basically, Ritvija is a brahmanas, or Ritvij is a one who performs a sacrifice, but Ritvija is a plural. So where a set of brahmanas are performing the sacrifice. So for a sacrifice or any yajna that has to be performed, there are four types of brahmanas are required. Ritvijas are required. The first one is Ritu. Sorry. The first one is Hotri. Hotri means the one who recites hymns from Rig Veda. Okay, his role is there are four types of brahmanas or the Ritvajas sitting around the sacrificial arena, and this is what they're doing. The first one is Hotri. Hotri is basically recites hymns from Rig Veda, and the second one is Advaryu. He performs physical ritual task like he from Yajurveda. Yajurveda, he follows Yajurveda, and like the one who is putting the ghee into the sacrifice, the one who is inviting the deities and all those things. That is Advaryu. And the third one is Udhagatri. Udghatri. Udgatri is the person who recites the um, chants. He sings or chants the mantras from Samaveda. All these auspicious things is required for performing the yajna. And the fourth one is Brahmana. The Brahmana is the one who oversees the overall ritual. He is expert in Atharva Veda. So basically, when a sacrifice is performed, it's a combination of all the Vedas, all four Vedas, and we have four Brahmanas or four called as four Ritvajas who are sitting all around the sacrificial arena and performing different tasks. So all this, so when they say Ritvija here, all these priests who are sitting there, and they may have, it's not only four brahmanas, each one will have their own assistants, a group of assistants. So it's a set of brahmanas who are sitting and perform the sacrifices. Yeah, and the Daksha Prajapati and all the Sadasyas, all other persons who are invited in this sacrifice, Brahmanas and Brahmana Patnis, everyone were speculating on what happened and how it has happened, what's happening because of the darkness. Now they are thinking. What are they thinking? They're speculating on what? Vatana Vantina. There is no wind, right? And there is no wind blowing. Then how come the dust come? For in dust to come, there must be a storm. There must be a storm, a huge storm, where we can see the dust. But here there is no dust, and there is no. And the second thing is like if the plunderers, let's say these plunderers or the robbers in this or on the age, they go in groups. So when they go in groups, they go on their horses or maybe they're running. So when they do that, the dust from the hoofs of the horses will spread all around the place. So they're saying that there are no plunderers here because why there are no plunderers or the robbers? Because the Prachina Barhi, the king who is he's very powerful at that time, and the king of that area was Prachina Barhi, and Prachina Barhi is very powerful. When there is a king like that, a ruler who is so powerful, then there are no plunderers. So there is no question of some robbery or some plunderers around. Then where is this dust coming from? Then then they are thinking, oh, maybe is it the group of cows? Like when the cows come back from after pasturing in the green fields, when they come running back, we have seen in 10th canto also that when the cows come back, there is the dust from the land that goes up into the air, And they're saying that there are no cows, no wind is blowing, meaning there are no storms, there are no plunderers, and there are no cows. Then also, where is this dust coming from? So this is what they're thinking, and they concluded. It's literally like they were trying to the coming to the conclusion of, oh, maybe this is due to the pralaya or the dissolution. This kind of science happens show during the dissolution because dark and um, yeah, maybe they're thinking it may be because of the dissolution. So we want to stop here. Shil Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Nrsingo, Jai Nrsingo, Jai Jai Nrsingo, Praladesha Jaya Padmanabha Padmanabhingam, Ugraveeram
Raviram
Mahavishnu
Mahavishnu Jalantam
Sarvatomukam,
Sarvatomukham Narsingham
Nrsingham
Vishnu
Bhushanam Bhadram Nityam Nrsimham.
Namami.
Nrsinga Bhagwan ki Jai,
Jai,
Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. One chakalpataru
Patitanam Vaishnavedyo Namo Namah.
Vaishnavinda ki
Ki
Jai.
Jai,
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Ki
Srila
Jai,
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
God Premanande.
Hari 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 Bol.
Thank you, Hari Krishna. Thank you, Hari.
Thank you everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol.